This video is mostly about beams and how multishot affects them, and a little bit about how gas damage handles that. The audio might sound a little bit disordered in some places, but that's because I had to edit out some of the buzzing in the background. Multishot and beams works differently compared to other single fire projectile weapons. Multishot actually just multiplies the status chance and the damage instead of adding an additional projectile. The Phage and the Phantasma are one of the beam weapons that have high multishot and decent status chance. Also, multishot doesn't affect the AoE from beams. It is most noticeable on these two weapons and a couple others that the beams are behaving differently with multishot than regular projectile weapons. Also, because how fire rate and damage reduction work in Warframe, I recommend using default fire rate for most weapons. And for a build, I recommend a build like this one. The status chance, crit chance, and multishot are pretty good. If you're struggling to get a 100% crit chance, you can use Arcane Avenger and Cat's Eye from the Adarza Kavat to increase your crit chance to 105%, or, well, an additional 105% if both are active. Because without DE coded damage reduction in this game, firing faster actually causes you to do less damage. So I recommend just going with default fire rate, it will feel the best. This damage reduction system doesn't affect all enemies, but it is most noticeable in Acolytes and Archon bosses, and a couple other enemies. The Cortege gives the best example of what I'm talking about. The all-fire is really slow, and because of that, it ignores a lot of the damage reduction, or, well, the DPS that is allowed for the damage reduction system. And another thing, crits ignore this DPS system as well. And now I'm going to show you another thing about gas procs and beams. Gas procs scale off of total damage done, and since multishot is multiplying the base damage, that then becomes the total damage. So you get some pretty ridiculous damage numbers just from gas procs alone. But because they're pretty inconsistent, I'm going to be showing it off a couple times. And now I'm going to bring this build into a Steel Path Conjunction survival. But first, I'm going to show you my build. I'm using the same Quanta Vandal build as I was in the Simulacrum. And for my Archon shards setup, I got shields and power strength. I'm also going to be using Arcane Blessing for increased survivability. I'm also going to be using Nourish for more viral procs, and your extra damage from my weapon to increase the amount of damage the gas damage does. It scales with total damage. I'm also going to be using the Panzer Violet for more Fire Procs, because having Fire Procs are pretty nice, but I always want more, so you can always do more damage whenever you want. I mean, having a Fire Proc on an enemy is pretty cool and all, but I mean, you could always have max.